The Mid-Mo-Yo question of the week was about railbirding. About, you're at the rail, you're doing your thing, you're playing, the phone rings, or you get the text from your spouse, it's time to go, or how you doing, or whatever. You step away from the table, you answer your task, you get your head down, you're doing your thing, you go back to your table, and you look down, and your chip rail is emptier than it used to be. Now, there's a lot of potential reasons for that, right? The reason for it is probably somebody stole your money. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Somebody probably stole your money. Reasons why you allowed it to happen were twofold. And I'm going to go to the camera view here, and I want to talk to you about this at the table. So this came up, I think you mentioned it, Ciro. I know that Joe from Craps Master Journeys mentioned this too, about setting your rack up. Now, I set my rack up in the quadrants, as you know. I usually have my bankroll, to me, is back right. What I'm playing with, like my next 250 is up here in the front left. My white chips are over here on the back left, and I use my white chips as, this is my vig money, this is my drink money, whatever. That's how I set my rack up. Now, if the rails are wide, and some of them are wide, you're going to be, basically, your money is going to be right where somebody else's arm is, like this. Their arm is right next to your money on either side of that. So, a tactic that you can use to help yourself a little bit, two things. One is use lammers. Right? I don't care if you use my lammers, go to Amazon and buy the clear acrylic ones. They're cheap, right? Buy lammers and separate your money. I know it's kind of hard to see this, but I'll put the chips up here. Hopefully you can see them a little better. You see the whites in between. I separate my chips with lammers. That way I know how much money's in my rack. I never, ever, ever, ever have a question of what I got sitting here. I know right now that I got a grand sitting here. That's four shots at 250. I got 250 in profit. I know what's in my rack all the time. So if I step away and I come back and I look down, I go, man, my rack looks short. I would never say to you my rack looks short. I would say my rack is short, because I know 100% what's in my rack all the time. Now, using the ends like I do with my quadrants, right? Bankroll, profit, play, and tip money can be dangerous if you're at a super crowded table, because the person next to you can just go like that and take your money. It's not hard to literally just go like this and grab money out of your rack, okay? Which is what happens. So a thought is, move your money to the middle of your rack, like so, have your quadrants in the middle, and put white chips on the outside, like so. Get the lammer in here, I'll put a separator and a white chips on the outside, and my play stack money up in front like this. Profit in front, facing me, like so. The reason for that is this. First of all, if you move it into the middle, now you gotta have this action. Instead of just grabbing it like this, where the money was over here and they can just go and pull out, now they gotta come in, right? Move to the middle of your rack, they gotta actually, my chips are slippery, but they gotta come inside the rack to get money. If they come inside the rack and you have your white chips surrounding your actual betting money, the pinky is going to grab white chips. The whole hand's got to be that's obvious. The whole hand's more obvious and more bold. So put your smallest denominations on the outside. That's a way to hide, or not hide, but protect yourself. I think Ciro mentioned it, and that's what he was talking about. If you haven't seen this technique used, surrounding your actual bankroll with white chips is a way to kind of stop the railbirds. Now, the real question is, and Ciro asks this every week, what do you do? Let's say I stepped away. Let's say I wasn't doing this. Let's say I had my regular John setup, and I'm on my whites on the left, on my bankroll over here on the right, got my profit over here, and my play money, and I step away to take a text from Kathy. Somebody railbirds me from over here, this side over here, somebody takes that money out, and I come back from the text, and I go, shit. Like, I know I had play money, and I know I had 4 shots, not 3. Like, I instantly, my hair, I know, right? What do you do? And like Ciro said too, the guy's gone. That your neighbors have left, or one of them at least has left, and your money's gone too. What you got to do is go to the pit immediately. Go to the pit immediately for 2 reasons. First of all, you're not gonna get your money back. Okay, let's get one thing straight. The casino will not replace your lost chips. Okay, once they're in the rail or they're on the felt, those checks are your responsibility. So they're not gonna replace them. However, they will know who was at the table with you, right? So a quick alert, like immediate alert, get the towel in your thing, go to the pit and just got railbirded, and they'll go to the tape. And it won't hold the game up. You'll have the spot open where you were standing. They will go to the tape immediately and figure this out. They got the facial recognition. They got all the things. They'll figure out who it was and take care of business. Okay, so casinos take theft very seriously. You might think that they're out there to screw you, and to some degree they are with some of the game rules that they have, but they're a service company. They don't make money unless we're making money and we're happy, right? They want us back and happy. Somebody stealing from their customers they take really personally. I guarantee you that your $250 means as much to them as it does to you, because that sets a bad precedent. That person who took your money, if they can find them on camera with any kind of facial rec, they'll be done, right? They'll be done. The gaming commission won't stand for that. The casino itself won't stand for that. You won't get your money back unless they catch the guy with your chips, but it is what it is. You want to make sure that you're helping the casino clear those assholes out of the mix. So that's my answer, Ciro. There's your here's the deal answer from me. I think it's a combination of things. I think, and also I should say this too, and I should probably be remiss if I didn't demonstrate this as well. If your money's here, and like I would never, like I would do this all the time, and I'll be out here. I can text with this hand, but I'd be out here. I'm always got a hand on the rack. Like I never leave my rack unattended. If I did, the white chips would help, but I'm always got a hand in and hand over it. And when I'm shooting, I shoot like this. I have my hand leaned over, and that's how I shoot. And I grab the dice and I set them and I shoot, and I move my hand here. I stand back and look at the dice. I make my bets, and I'm always here. I always have my hand covering my chips whenever I can. Unless I'm called away from the table. And if I get called away, I ask for a towel to cover. Again, they aren't responsible, but the towel is at least a courtesy that they provide. So take care of your rack. Be on your rack. Make sure you know what's in it by some system. Make sure you protect your money when you're there. And that's my advice. There's your answer. Railbirds suck. That's like, to me, that's one of the most disrespectful things that you can, I mean, I can't even, I don't know. You know what I mean? I couldn't go there. I could no sooner take somebody else's hard-earned money off a table. That's just bullshit. But people do it. And if you watch, like one of my favorite shows, like those Vegas Cheaters Exposed shows on like History Channel or whatever else, those are great because you can see all the techniques that people use, and you can learn from watching those idiots what they do and how the casinos just deal with those people. Ways to kind of be safe back there. So there you go. Be safe back there from the Railbirds. All right.